Hello students, now today we are going to start the topic of a transducer, that is a pressure transducer. Okay, as discussed earlier, the pressure transducer, the example for the pressure transducer which is given by the piezoelectric pickup, LVDT and the strain gauge. These are the three examples of the pressure transducer. By using this particular three example, first now we are going to start the topic, that is a piezoelectric pickup. Okay, piezoelectric pickup. Now, this piezoelectric pickup is nothing but it is one type of the active transducer. Okay, students, this is the active transducer. It is a pressure or a displacement transducer also. You may say that this transducer is also of a pressure and a displacement. Now, in this, when you are subjected to the pressure or tension, it develops the electrical charge to the crystal. This is the diagram for a piezoelectric pickup. Okay, so what is that particular effect that we will be going to see? The sign changes when a compression is changes into a tension. This effect is called as a piezoelectric pickup. Okay, whenever you are using this particular form, you have the changes into a tension. Whatever the tension is going to be offered in this particular form, the pressure is offered to this particular crystal, and as soon as this summing member, the resistance just press below, here you are getting the output. This is the base. Okay, this is what it is drawn with a line. It is a base, and here the cylindrical type, it is nothing but it is a crystal, and from this crystal we have taken the output, and this is the pressure port. Okay, as soon as the pressure is occupied on this particular summing force of the summing member, the crystal just slightly go down, and due to the pressure the output is being get created. When this output has been created, now we will see this particular block. The crystal is placed between the solid base. This crystal, it is the crystal. This crystal is placed in between this particular solid base. This is the base. Okay, so it is placed in between this particular solid, and external applied force, whatever the force which is going to be get applied by this one, entering to the transducer through its pressure port. From this pressure port, the external pressure is applied to the top of the crystal. At this particular top, the pressure is being applied to this crystal. Suddenly, they produces an EMF across the crystal. Due to some pressure, some EMF has been get created, and due to the creation, the propagation to the magnitude of the applied pressure is going to be get changes, and due to that we are getting the output. And since it is measuring what is the particular displacement occurred. Okay, the piezoelectric pickup, the uses, first, it is of a good high frequency response. Second, it measures the surface roughness and the vibration pickup. Third number, it is also used in the ultrasonic generation and the underdeveloped detection system. So these are the three uses which is very important for the piezoelectric pickup. Then the disadvantage, here I am discussing only about the one disadvantage. It cannot measure the static condition. Okay, here it is only the one disadvantage is being occurred. It does not measure the static condition. Okay students, this is all about the piezoelectric pickup. Now we will go for the LVDT. In this LVDT is nothing but it is a linear variable differential transformer. Second number, linear variable differential transformer. Okay, students, our topic that is a LVDT. It is a linear variable differential transformer. Here, the diagram, it shows the primary coil number 1, secondary coil number 1 and secondary coil number 2. In between this particular coil, there is a displacement arm, and whatever you are observing here, it is a core. Okay, the coil which is related to this part, it is being get connected to this one which is common, and it produces the differential output voltage. After producing this differential output voltage, whatever the EMF which is induced in the coil number 1 and coil number 2, it gives you the difference. Okay, here the AC excitation has been used to the primary winding, to the primary coil of this LVDT. Here in this, now this primary coil consisting of a primary winding and the two secondary winding, which is placed either side of the secondary terms, which are equal to terms of the connected in the series opposition. Okay, students, since the EMF induced in the coil 1 and coil 2 opposes each other, and since due to that opposition you are producing the value, that is EMF in the secondary 1 minus EMF in the secondary 2. Why it is possible? It is possible only when it is get opposes to each other, and before it does not oppose, you are getting the secondary 1 and the secondary 2 separate output, but as soon as it opposes, you are getting the value, that is secondary 1 minus secondary 2. Whatever the EMF which is produced in the secondary 1 and in the secondary 2, you are getting the difference. Okay, this is the first point in this one. If this core, now what they have shown, that the core has to be get moved from left to right, the core has to get moved from right to left, and core has to be get stable in a mid position, means in a null position. These three positions has to be get marked by this particular LVDT. And what is the effect of that particular, if we the core is in a center, means when it induced the EMF in a secondary and are equal but opposite. Since the output is 0, and that's why we may say that the core at a center produces a null displacement. Okay, which is indicated by this core at a 0, means a null displacement is being get occurred. But when the it moves to the right, means at a core B, this one, it moves to the right, the magnetic flux link to that of the right hand side, and then mixed with the coil number 1, it produces a larger induced EMF in the coil 1, and since the output voltage is in phase with the coil number 2, whatever the coil number 2 is being produced here, this will be in a phase with that particular coil. As soon as this core position is moved to the left side, generally what happened, the more flux is being get linked with that particular coil. Okay, and what the link of that particular coil and the link of the coil number 2, the output is in a phase with the coil number 1, and since you are producing this output like this. Okay, here the output with the phase number coil 2, here the output with the phase number coil 1. Okay, so the phase number of the coil, this one, and the different phases has been allotted to you, and due to that one the value has been set like this with the A value and the B value. Here we are going to the mark for the coil number 1, and here we are going to mark for the coil number 2, and due to that one, whatever the position which has been get occurred, if it is in right position, we have shown the right position like this, and if it is in left position, we have shown the left position like this. After that one, there are the advantages. As the coil moves one place to the another place, and from the means vice versa, you have the advantages that it is a linearity. The first advantage, that is a linearity. The second advantage which is occurred in this, it is have a low power consumption. Why low power consumption? Because only some force has been applied, and that's why the low power is being be get consumed, and since you are saying that the low power is being get consumed, when it moves from one place to the another place, means it is have the high sensitivity, and due to that it is having the advantage. it is a low power consumption. The high resolution, or the high sensitivity has been get occurred, and the infinite resolution. The high resolution, or you may say that here the high linearity or high sensitivity has been get occurred, and here you may observe the infinite resolution. The fourth number you are getting, it is nothing but it is a less friction, so it is having the advantages where the temperature has to be get occurred. This gives you the LVDT, that is a linear variable differential transformer, and since this linear variable differential transformer depends on the other, that's why it is nothing but it is called as a passive transducer. Hello students, after the LVDT we are going to start the topic, that is a light transducer. Light transducer. This light transducer, the various example has been given here. The different types of the example. The first, it is LDR, light dependent resistor. Light dependent resistor. Okay. The second number, it is optocoupler. It is optocoupler. Third number, vacuum tube photo. Vacuum type photo tube. Then fourth number, gas type photo tube. Okay. The fifth number, multiplier photo tube. And the sixth number, it is photovoltaic cell. Photovoltaic cell, or also that cell is nothing but it is called as a solar cell. Solar cell. Here you have the LDR, second number optocoupler, third number vacuum type photo, then a gas type photo tube, then a multiplier photo tube, and the photovoltaic cell. So very first we are going to start the LDR. Okay, LDR. This LDR is nothing but it is the light dependent resistor. Light dependent resistor. Okay, here the diagram, the symbolical representation. This is the resistor. Okay, here we have to make a circle like this, as it is the name LDR means a light depend, means you have to show the arrow here. Light is going to fall on this resistor, and due to that some changes will be get occurred, and since the something will be get vary. What is that something? That we have to see here. Okay, here you will be seeing the construction. Okay, in this construction you will observe the construction like this. Something, the half circular part is given to you. Like this. Here many resistors has been, one wire has been slotted to this particular part. Like this is the diagram. Here the diagram, my diagram is not perfect, but I am just trying. You can observe this in a book also, students. This one are the two terminals. Okay. From here the two terminals has been taken out. Now you see this one, this part you will be observing, it is nothing but it is a glass window. Glass window. And this, the lines you are observing here, it is a photoconductive material. Photoconductive material. Okay students, these are the base, the leads, you may say it is a base pin, and this is the metal case. Metal case. Okay. And here this covering, okay, it is nothing but it is called as a ceramic substrate. So this is the construction for the LDR. Now after this construction and after the symbolical representation, it is a symbol, it is a symbol, it is a construction of LDR. Okay students, now this LDR, it is having, or you may observe this LDR is having the effect. That effect is nothing but it is having the effect that is a photoconductive effect. Okay, first number point, in a point you should remember it. Photoconductive effect is observed, the second number point which you have to keep in your mind, that the LDR is also called as a photoconductive cell. It is also called as photoconductive cell. Okay, or in other word, it is also called as a photoresistor. Photoresistor. The third point, in dark, the resistance in this LDR, it is maximum. Resistance is maximum. Okay, when the electromagnetic radiation is incident on this LDR, its resistance decreases. Okay, the next number point, when the LDR is in a dark, its resistance is maximum. Yeah. When electromagnetic radiation, like means a radiation is nothing but is a light, when incident on this LDR, okay, the whatever the resistance it is present inside, it gets decreased. On LDR, resistance decrease. resistance decrease. Okay students, so this much theory is very much important. Okay, the rest of it is now the coming back to our construction. In this construction I told you the LDR consisting of the ceramic substrate. This is the ceramic substrate. Okay, the layer of the photoconductive material is placed here, and it is enclosed with a one particular metallic electrodes on this the LDR circuit where it is been connected, and the moisture resistance is been enclosed in such a way that no moisture is going to be get inside in this particular place. The material which is used, it is a cadmium, cellium, germanium and the silicon are the photoconductive material which is used in many of the applications with a spectral response of the CDS. It is closely matched with the human eyes. Okay, so this is having one particular thing where only the applications, you may say application as the name, the LDR, light dependent resistor. Okay, where it will be using wherever the light will get fall, according to that it will get behave. So the very first application in a relay circuit, second it may be a street light control, the third application in a camera, in camera, automatic iris control for camera. Then a fourth number in a object counter. In this object counter this LDR is been used. Okay students, so this is all about the LDR. Now the next part, that is this one is the optocoupler. Here the first number, second number optocoupler. Here I have to arrange this one. Optocoupler. This optocoupler, it is nothing but it is a light transducer. It is a light transducer. Okay, within this again you may say that this optocoupler, it is a depend on this particular light. Here we shall draw the diagram for this one, how it is looking. One resistance, we will give here the name R1 resistance. Okay, the likewise we are inserting the diode, so positive to negative, here V in value positive to negative. The next part we will give the voltage, positive negative. The V1 voltage means a V voltage, and as it is couple means it is being get connected with the another part also. So you will be obtaining this diode to be connected to the opposite direction, and this part is being get coupled like this, and since it is called as a optocoupler. Okay, due to this coupling it is called as optocoupler. Now rest of the circuit will be drawn by us for negative positive. Here the marking is very much important, negative positive, then the positive negative, and here you have to connect back to the circuit. Here you will be obtaining the output, that is V output. Here is the voltage, that voltage is V2. For the first circuit is V1, for the second it is V2. Here the input voltage is to be obtained, and here the output is going to be obtained. The resistance R1 and resistance R2 you are getting. Now in a point wise, if you want to remember, then the first number point, the LDR or the opto detector means a photodiode are combined in a single package. This photo detector, photodetector, and the second the photodiode. Photodetector and the photodiode are combined in a single package. Okay, plus I am just marking here as a first, means this one is your first number point. Then a second number in a single package, single package. Then a second number, the LED is one is on the input side and photodiode is on the output side. Okay, photodetector and the photo, it is of a complete package. In this side you will be getting the LED and input side, and the photodiode you will be obtaining at the output side. Photodiode. Okay students, this complete package consisting of the photodiode and photodetector and the photodiode. Okay, the LED is obtained in the input side and the photodiode is obtained on the output side. Okay, when you are using this particular source, means a third number point, when the voltage V1 and the resistance, this series resistance R1 produces a current, through LED, this LED. Due to this one and this one, it will produce the current through this LED. Since the LED light falls on that LED, since the light falls on that LED, falls on a photodiode also, and set up a reverse current, that current is indicated with the I2. Okay, here we will get the reverse current, that current is the I2 current. And what was the first current? It was I1 current, so here we will mark as a 1. So the reverse current is going to be get flown from this one, and since whatever the output which is being get produced at this particular point, you will be getting V2 minus I2 into R2, this I2 into R2, that is nothing but it is V out. At this particular instant you will be getting this V2, okay, I2 into R2. Output is depend upon, the output is depend upon current I2. Okay, if V1 is varies, the amount of the light will be get, if we rise this V1, the amount of the light which is falling on this LED will get fluctuate. Okay, will fluctuate. Okay, since the output voltage at that particular change according to the input voltage, whatever the changes is been get occur, the output it is been get changed, whatever the input is been get changes, means the output changes according to the input voltage. Okay, this much is the part in this optocoupler. Now this optocoupler thus, and single input or a input signal, when this input signal is being going to be applied to this particular formation, you will be saying that the input signal is coupled to the output circuit. Okay, since it is called optocoupler. Okay students, this optocoupler is having another name also, or you may say that it is a opto isolator. Or another name is having this one, opto isolator or optically coupled isolator. Optically coupled isolator. Now the applications where this optocoupler has been used. Applications, the very first application, it provides electrical isolation between input and output circuit. Okay, this is the first application. When the high voltage amplification, in an high voltage application or amplification you may say that, where the potential of the two circuit differs from the several thousands. Okay, what is that several thousand? Different to that of the voltages. The optocoupler can provide the insulation resistance in thousands of mega ohms. It can provide insulation resistance in thousands of mega ohms. Okay, so these are the applications in this optocoupler. Okay, the next we will see the displacement transducer. Displacement transducer. The displacement transducers are again classified into a with a different examples they have given. It is a capacitive transducer, second piezoelectric transducer, then LVDT, linear variable differential transformer, then a strain gauge, then a oscillation transducer, then oscillation after there is a part, it is called as a potentiometer transducer, and the next but the last, that is a velocity transducer. Okay friends, the displacement transducer are having a various examples, that is a capacitive transducer, piezoelectric transducer, LVDT, strain gauge, oscillation transducer. This is the oscillation transducer, and here the potentiometer transducer, and the last velocity transducer. So from this particular transducer we have to study the capacitive transducer. This capacitive transducer is very much important from your examination point of also from the view. You will be obtaining the capacitive transducer like this. here it is represented like this. There is a one plate which is shown by this one, certain dots are present. Like this, certain dots are present here. You mark here, it will consume my time. Okay, and here the plate is inserted. This plate is nothing but it is the static plate. Okay, so this is the static plate, and whatever the part you are observing, this one, this part I have marked with a line. It is nothing but it is a insulating material. Okay students, and the gap which is present here, it is nothing but it is a real cavity termination. It is a real cavity termination. Okay, and now the main part, here you will be observing the semicircle like this, and in between this gap is present. It is nothing but it is a dielectric. Then from this particular thing, it is marked with a dotted line, and in this dotted line the space is allotted to you. It is nothing but it will get bumped like this. Okay, so that is due to the pressure. And this position, dotted mark, it is nothing but it is a static position of a diaphragm. Static position of diaphragm. Okay, and this is nothing but it is the deflected diaphragm. Okay. The static plate, the real cavity termination, the insulation, deflected diaphragm, static position, the pressure, and the dielectric. It will give you, here it is marked with a very dark, in your book also it is given, so you may see, observe in your from your book also. Here my diagram is not perfect, and since I have drawn. Now, as when you are observing this part, you have this capacitor transducer is to be marked as a variable capacitance of the pressure gauge. Variable capacitance pressure gauge. Okay, this capacitor transducer, it is of a passive transducer. It depends upon that different part. That's why it is a passive transducer. Now, the capacitance of parallel plate is given by whatever the capacitance which is present at this particular instant. It is given by the formula, that is nothing but it is having the value C is equal to K into A into epsilon 0 divided by D. From this, the K, you will be knowing the K is nothing but area of plate, that is calculated into the meter square, and the the area it is calculated, that is A, and K is the dielectric constant. K is the dielectric constant, and small d it indicates the distance between plate, and epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. It is equal to farad per meter. Okay, students. So this is the when the capacitor of the parallel plate is given by, you have the C is equal to K into A into epsilon 0 divided by D. The K is the dielectric constant, A is the area of the plate which is calculated in meter square, and D is the distance between the plate. Epsilon 0 is the permittivity of a free space, farad per meter. Now in this particular formation you will get the different form. The capacitance, it is inversely proportional. The capacitance, it is inversely proportional. Capacitance is inversely proportional to the distance between the plate. Okay, any changes in the D, whatever the changes which is occurred across, I will show here diagram. Any changes which is occurred across the D, it corresponds to the change in the capacitance, since this principle is nothing but is a capacitive transducer. Okay, the diaphragm, the deflected diaphragm and the static position of this diaphragm is being shown here. As soon as the resulting changes in the capacitor is measured with a AC bridge or the oscillator circuit, the transducer causes the changes in the frequency of an oscillator. Okay, this changes the frequency is measured in the magnitude of the applied forces. Whatever this one frequency is being get applied, it is measured with the magnitude of the applied forces. Here you will get the advantages of this particular capacitive transducer. What are the advantages? It is very sensitive. Advantages, what is? It is very sensitive. The advantage, first one, sensitive. It is sensitive. The second advantage, you are getting the frequency. The frequency response is excellent. Frequency response is excellent. The third number advantage you are getting, that is the input impedance is high. Input impedance is very much high. The fourth number you will be getting, that is the both static and the dynamic phenomena is being measured. What is in this formation? Here the value and here the static formation. Both the static and the dynamic phenomena is going to be get measured by this particular capacitive transducer. Okay, so you may say that both the static and dynamic phenomena can be measured. Okay, students, but there is a one disadvantage also. The disadvantage is nothing but the possibility of distortion sound due to the long lead length. Here, if you have the maximum number of a wire like this, means a lead, the for covering this the maximum resistance is required, and due to that some disturbance or some distortion is going to be get occurred, and that's why it is having the disadvantage. Okay, for overcoming this disadvantage the next part is to be get studied by you, and it is nothing but it is called as a displacement or a sound transducer. Okay, apart from this advantage and the disadvantage, you have the various applications. The various applications of this one particular capacitors capacitor transducer. The first very application is the force and the pressure can be measured, because whenever we are applying any something, the force is going to be get occurred here, the pressure, the forces and the pressure is going to be get measured by this particular capacitor transducer, so it is having that particular application. Okay, apart from this application, the linear and the angular displacement is going to be measured by this capacitor transducer. Okay, so here in the next topic we will see the displacement transducer.